Hi, this is Mitch King with Trade Stocks America with the Tuesday morning, March 16, 2010 daily stock report. Dow Jones is steadily creeping up, real healthy way, and a sustainable uptrend. Not much change today as the first day of the Federal Open Market Committee's meeting on interest rates and on the monetary policy. This will be announced tomorrow at 2:15 Eastern. Not likely to see an interest rate change, and extremely unlikely to see any interest rate change, but everyone's eyes will be on that language that's used about that mantra that's being used for months now, that the Federal Reserve will plan to keep interest rates at a very low rate for an extended period of time. And if there's any change in language, this market goes down. Here's the Nasdaq Composite, primarily made up of tech stocks. Little topping action here, down 0.25%. Not much, nothing significant. Higher highs, looking really healthy. And here is a 15-month cycle right there. So even tricked me that this pullback right in here looked like that was going to be a steeper drop, but here we got a buy on the dip pattern, and that's what we've been getting for some months on every little dip for a year now. Here's the S&P 500, virtually no change today. Let's cover a handful of stocks. Here's CNAM, China Armco Metals, had a lower low today, and here you see 765 on the low today. We were looking for under $8 to cover. Still, if you've still got this open, consider covering the next 1 or 2 days. Looks like tomorrow's the right day after today's low. Still weak, but congratulations if you covered today, because that was a nice move from 10 bucks to 8, 25% gain. You take the difference between these two. Let's say you sold it short at $10, and let's say you covered at 8. You take that $2 and you divide it by what you paid for it, which is, let's say, $8. And if you like my writing there, that's a 25% profit on that. Real high-tech writing there. Looks like kindergarten, at least. Here's Toyota Motors, stock symbol TM. Nice move up today, higher high. Let's take a close-up on that one. And if we draw a line, it's just barely, you can see that it's slightly higher today than it was last week on that high. So that's a good sign. We're likely to see this kind of action. The runaway Prius last week in San Diego, the investigators said that they were not able to reproduce that. They were not saying he was lying or that there was any fraud, but they were not able to reproduce that. So this stock is probably heading up, and I think that negative news is really starting to subside, just like we see every time you buy a stock when there's chaos and people are upset, and you sell when everyone's happy, slapping each other on the back how smart they are. Here was that developing bull short IPCI. We could not find the shares on this. Stock dropped down to 308 today. Huge drop percentage-wise, considering this stock did hit $5 on Friday. It was an excellent scalping stock on Friday. Not so much today. We ignored it, watched it, but just didn't do anything with that. So if you're lucky enough to find the shares to short, and I had the brokerage firm to do that sells short under $5, great for you. Here's SWIR, not acting good at all. Probably is going to be stopped tomorrow at that $8. It's been a loser from the beginning. Here's Fuel System Solutions, auto parts stock. Had a nice little spike over $35 today and turned over. Consider closing half of that tomorrow. We might be having a little bit of a pullback here, and I'd keep a close, tight stop on this and a very close watch, because you've got 10-12% profit on this. You might as well start booking this, and won't hurt my feelings if you sell it the next day or so. Thought I'd cover Google, down 16 points at the close. Real volatile after announcing that they're pulling out of China. Let's look at the stock that would benefit from that, and that's Baidu. Google owns part of Baidu's shares, but that really isn't going to affect Google too much on the bottom line. Last stock, AIG, American International Group, found shares to short of this today, which is very rare. The stock did have a lower low. Was a little hot today after some guy announced that they bought millions of shares of the stock and the convertible notes. So it gave some sort of a confidence in the stock, and it did spike up quite a bit. Here's AIG on a 5-minute chart today, open right here. Here's the opening, and here's that spike late in the afternoon today, and then sold down to 34, which is 34.32, and it sold down to 34.32. So it had a little buoyancy. I still think looks like it's acting very heavily. If you had the put options, you saw a lot of volatility today. If you had sold the call options, it still really won't affect those $40 calls, and we're likely to see those expire down to zero. So you guys know the routine. You take care, put the odds in your favor. We'll talk to you tomorrow.